All right. What's good, everyone? Um, Welcome back to LOS. This is season 3, round 2 at the Hungaroring Circuit Magyar Nugget Ditch in Hungary. Once again, it's your boys, the regular commentary duo so far of 2 races. That's me, Vifix, and joining me is Smith Shah. Smith, what's good?
Everything's good, buddy. Everything's good. I mean, it's race day, and
Yeah,
we are seeing the season finally kicking off well.
yeah.
Uh,
So,
previous Wednesday, and
yeah.
here we are with the round 2,
Yeah,
and
so
already cars
just
are out. Yep.
Yeah, so catching up to just catch up everyone right now. So what happened in the previous season, in case they might have missed it, in which case go and watch that race back. I know it's a bit of a watch. Certainly, the director's cut would probably be around half an hour shorter, but as a racer, you love to see cars race uh, all the time. So it is a long watch, but do go watch. It was quite the classic in a way, I would say.
I will totally. I mean, I totally agree on that, and I'm gonna go watch it. Yep.
Yeah, but
Now that we are here.
yeah, now that we are here at the Hungaroring, not a big queue to get out on track. In Brazil, I mean, I think pretty much everyone is out on track within the first 3-4 minutes. And here we have just what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars out on track. That is quite few. Now, Smith, we have to consider last race. It was a bit of a wild one, a bit because it was a season opener, and those are always a bit more like out of order, out of whack, a bit more uncontrolled. I would say chaotic is the word I'm looking for. But I think coming into race 2 now, I think we should slowly start to see an order somewhat form in terms of what the championship fights are going to be for each position, I would say.
I mean, I still feel it would be a bit too early, honestly. We will see maybe some contacts happening because, after all, it's Hungary. Overtakes are very difficult. It's just the main straight, I guess. And maybe turn 4 or turn 5 where you can overtake, but let's see what people do. They might dive bomb, they might get dirty again. It's last race was genuinely bad, and people need to kind of up their game in terms of how they need to drive. So that's something which I would request. If drivers are hearing this, then yeah.
I mean, we do know that they do watch the stream. Check the views on the videos. Yeah, I mean, I can't legitimately. I can't watch. I mean, I can't legitimately promote the video that much. 80 or something times. But yeah, Hungary. I mean, very very tricky track. But I would say this one would bring quite a bit of pace difference. Since if people are good at this track, they can definitely rip this track up. If you're struggling at Hungary, then it's not gonna be a pleasant experience, maybe. As we already see a 1,000th difference in the top 2 times. And speaking of Hungary, a man who's
Wow.
very familiar with this track, Shadow Sword 211. I think he's already gone so far with more track time than he saw in both the races and qualifying combined last weekend. And he is a bit of a cracked egg at this track. He's almost always in the victory shout at Hungary in other races that we've seen, especially in LOS. We all know about that Hungary race, but yeah, I would say that Shadow, poor season opener for him by his own standards. So I think he'll be looking to come good tonight.
Yeah, last time he got a bit unlucky. I would definitely say that. Very, very unlucky there. Some car kind of lost the traction and punted into him, and he was lying upside down.
Yeah,
Reminded me
yeah,
of
he
Joe.
was almost at
But
the
yeah,
crane. Look at that crane in the background of this. I think turn 3 or 4. That is, he was almost to the height of that. So just imagine that, viewers. But you know why you won't have to imagine if you watch the video on stream.
yeah. And while we speak about it, he just went fastest in Sector 1. I hope that's not a glitch.
No, I don't think
But
that
yeah.
is like he has already invalidated a lap And it was at the sector 2, very tricky sector 2, especially with the lesser downforce on these cars. Um, and I can
Yep.
see his red light is already blinking. So is he even going to finish the lap? I
I
think he
have
will just to
no
get a
idea, but
time up
again,
on the board, maybe. But yeah, let's see what he does.
let's
Shadow
see, because
coming.
he did put two purple sectors. Just
I'm
looking at
gonna.
him going through. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
he's
gonna
just coming at the
assume that
final
the
corner
game
right now.
gives Annie,
Oh,
and he
he
goes
moved
into
into
the
the
pits.
pits. I have no idea about that, but okay.
7 laps set so far. Um, no one really, I think, pushing all that hard. Jishnu right now enjoying a healthy, uh,
Yep.
near
I'm
three
in
tenths
fact on
advantage.
board with Oxidize. Another really quick driver that we have. Sometimes get unlucky. He has put a fastest sector 1. He just did the chicane in the sector 2. So let's see. Can
And
you?
meanwhile, the race
Oh,
winner
Gosalia.
from
Yep.
last time, Yash Gosalia, 16.4. Definitely a beatable lap for later on in the session, but I don't think he was pushing 100%. He definitely knows, he's smart enough to realize that there's still a lot of time left in this session.
Yep. And of course, we cannot, uh, you know, exclude someone like Caesar who missed first. He isn't okay. He's just come out of the pit lane. So definitely looking forward to see what he does.
Okay. I am receiving information on my Discord DMs about certain drivers from our very own Ted Kravitz, uh, the other man who's not racing here and is the league director. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah. Anyway, I'm just waiting for these next runs to start so we can go on a hot lap with someone, and that someone might as well be Caesar. So I'm just waiting for him to cross the line so I can spectate his hot lap and just take you guys through a lap of this circuit. Only 11 laps set so far, Smith. Surprise, and that 11th lap is something from Quick Killer, which I don't know what that was, but yeah, that was definitely a lap.
That was a banker lap, I would say.
More than a banker lap at that point. But anyway, here comes Caesar. Uh, about to start his lap. Some people would say that he was the heavy favorite for the championship. He's starting 25 points down on everyone. But anyway, let me take you through a lap of the Hungaroring. Anyway, here he goes into turn 1 in that Alpine. Brakes really deep now into this turn. You have to be careful on the exit. They're very, very easy to spin out. Even on the heavy traction cars of last season, now through this one, you can really take any line through this corner. There's equal grip on all sides. He chooses to take a deeper line. Cuts in now. Very easy to invalidate. Going up the hill as he brakes. Lets go of the throttle. Now into this turn. If you hit that curb on the outside, on the right side of his right tire, you're gonna spin very easily. Now into this tough chicane. He definitely is keeping very, very steady on his lap so far. Into fifth gear here through the first of these slow, medium speed corners. And then once again going through this one. Very easy to invalidate there. Oh, he's just about kept it. And now he breaks in deep. Very, very tricky braking zone coming up here because there's going to be an elevation change in the middle of the corner, and he manages to keep that car going now. Last corner again, very unique. Have to make
Yep.
sure not to try and hit this curb or the pit lane if you're trying to look for a steady lap. And he goes and he sets a 16.2. That was a pretty good lap from Caesar right there. But you look at this track, there's not too many conventional corners on this track, are there? Pretty much every corner is unique in some way.
That is true. That is true. But speaking of that, his tires were kind of, out of that white line. Do you think that would be an invalidation?
I think he slowed down,
Oh,
on
I
his
think
telemetry.
Caesar did lose his lost traction and spun,
Yeah, I
but
think he
yep.
was going for another lap there. Either that or he just spun on his out lap. One thing I'm really interested in is it's a track has a lot of corners, not a lot of straights. Who's managed to figure out the perfect tire pressures for this track? Because tire pressures matter so much in this game now. So if you have the wrong ones, you could be falling like a stone. in the latter part of the race.
Yep.
Because your tires are going to overheat. You're not going to have any traction really going into the corners, any braking power. You're going to have to use so much brakes as Vandan retires from this session.
Yeah, I think he crashed out. Unfortunate. But I'm on board with Abhishek, who's up on his time by almost 2.5 tenths. So
So
he just
that-
went through sector 1. He's now
we
going
will
to the
see.
chicane at
He
the sector
should
2.
make up a lot of time on his lap in this middle sector. It is the longest sector on track, and it is the one that has the most corners. So you would think that this would be enough. As Thakurov goes P3 right there with a 16.508, and I have goes P5 with a 16.710. Not as good of a middle sector there from Abhishek's. Jishnu goes P1 right there with a 16.217, so 6 thousandths
Wow.
separates the top two. And now we continue on with Abhishek through the final corner, gets that power down. What is he gonna set? It's a 16.9. Which
Do you think
as
he
Raman is
is...
retired from the session. Do you think he's running
He's
lesser?
sandbagging here and not in iron.
I was gonna say, is he running lesser downforce, lesser wing on his car than everyone else? He was really quick in that first sector, and then
Yep.
he just sort of tumbled down, I should say, in the middle sector compared to what the others around the same lap time range of the 16s are doing. But I feel
Yep.
like this is a quite an entertaining fight for pole. I think it's between our top three. Maybe Thakurva can sneak in there, and I hope for Thakurva's sake he gets a clean race under his belt. It has been a long time for him, and he is genuinely one of the quickest drivers here. So it just sucks to see him, not get a clean run in most of the
He's
time.
been a bit unlucky recently. I don't know. Maybe he needs to do some puja. I don't know, man. But yeah, he has been unlucky. But in the all those talks, Chugs went P8 and Quicksilver went P10. So
Chug's
Quicksilver
pretty
did put
solid
it-
driver. He's more of a Sunday man, isn't he? Normally, I've never seen him qualify that
Yep,
highly, and then
absolutely.
he always shows up in the race at the end. So that
Yeah,
is-
would keep it clean and will try to finish in decent top 5. I've always seen that from him.
Meanwhile,
And
what's
Anton
happened?
goes
Anton
P6.
Hypers P6, 16.8. I think Raman will be cursing himself a bit there because he has DNF, and he can't improve on that 16.841. Especially
Yeah.
seeing that Anton, how 23 thousandths on Raman. So yeah. Meanwhile, the McLarens, remember, they were the only team giving each other a tow last weekend, and now they're side by side in the position order as well. So I just think that they just like having so much teamwork. If only the real McLaren team could do this.
Wow, meanwhile Oxidize goes P5. So that was a
decent
good
lap
lap.
right there. Puts him right in between Thakurva and Ahif. That should be, and for some
And
reason it's been a
is
yellow flag out of
Caesar-
sector 1, so we don't know how much time. 4 minutes 40, that's what it says for us. Of course, that could be more or less time remaining in the session than that, because this game does glitch out and never give you the right time for this thing. As Mosquito is, I think, the only one on a hot lap right now.
Mosquito and Caesar both.
Let's go
I
back
think
up.
Shadow is... Okay, no. He would be starting one right now. Yep.
Caesar's down, though. He's like 3 tenths down on his lap, so I think that is gonna be a box. I think he spun on his original lap, or he invalidated it. So yeah, Oxidize range now coming across. I think he just did a lap, so yeah, he's coasting to the pits. So yeah, Mosquito, I mean, it's not gonna take much for him to improve on a 20.1. Maybe he can get into this top 10. I mean, it's not. He needs to clear a bar of a 17.1. There's a lot of drivers close to it, and yeah, there's definitely a possibility for him. Meanwhile, Shadow Sword now finally, can he finish a lap? This is his track. He will proudly proclaim it if I ask him right now if you were here. This is his jam. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, but before that, I'm gonna be on board with Caesar definitely in the pits. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
he
bad.
is just preparing for the
But
last
is
one.
that,
Shadow now does a middle
Anton?
sector without invalidating, and I think the third and fourth cars are out on track now. Now Shadow about to cross the line. What can he set? He needs something here because starting P16, last year's game, a bit more logical, and yeah, there you go,
There you go.
16-5-2-0. I think he might be cursing himself a bit when he learns to Thakurva's time.
Yep.
Yeah, and Shadow and Thakur are right back together again. Like, look at this. We do not write this. This is not scripted. This is sports right here. So, from the running order, it looks like Yash Goswami is the first man to start his lap from this leading pack, and it's going to be Caesar, who is still in the pits. So here we go, Yash Goswami, first person just after him a few corners is Thakurva. So this should be a good shootout for pole here. Jishnu is just on his outlap as well. So I think everyone should be able to cross the line pretty safely. And is Caesar going out again? Yes, he is just now. He's playing it close. But yeah, Yash Gosalia starts his lap. Thakurva at turn 1. And now let's see what his first sector split is. So Yash Gosalia comes across. He does a 27-3. Now what can Thakurva do in response to that? And of course, we don't know what setup these guys are running. I assume it's high downforce, but even 1 or 2 wing values make a lot of difference at tracks like this. Thakurva does 27-2 through that first sector.
Yep. Very similar times. Let's see what they do in sector 2. But I see a yellow flag. Is that... Okay, that's the Caesar.
Yeah, that's the Caesar. I hope
he reaches...
Yeah, I hope he reaches the line. Yash Gosalia 54-6 through the middle sector. Now, we follow Thakurva again, but he's going to get held up by this traffic. At this crucial point in the lap, he has spun.
I think that's quality done for Thakurva. So let's go on board with Yash again now that he's
going to set the lap time as? He goes across the line, he gets a 16.268. And I think Thakurva will be furious right now. I think he knows in his head. I think he thinks that he could have beaten that lap. Meanwhile, Jishnu now about to start his lap. I mean, he has already started his lap, about to come into the sector 1 timing line. The incumbent pole man right now. What can he do? He sets a 27-2 to the first sector, but he's down on his own time, which will not be pleasant news to him, especially considering Caesar has also now started his lap. So this is a straight up shootout here. Now let's watch. They're quite far apart on track as well right now, so it will be us seeing Jishnu, I think, cross the middle sector before we see Caesar cross the first. Ooh, just about kept it. He's a 10th up now, but Caesar is down. He is down. He is down. He needs the middle sector that Jishnu had, to be honest. To keep up now. And now Jishnu is about to cross the line. What can he do? Meanwhile, Ahif went P4 as well in all of this. What's the lap time gonna be? He goes and sets a 115.998.
Oh,
just about. Now what does Caesar have in retaliation? He goes through this and he is in the purple sector, but he is down on his own time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close, I think. His first sector
P2.
And Quickiller goes P2, so Caesar needs to improve in order to make sure that he's at least starting on the front row. What can he do? Across the line now, he sets up 16-1. That is, I think that first sector really let him down there, and he could not recover it like Jishnu could.
Yeah, very unfortunate there. Ahit not improving. Thakurva,
yeah, that will be quality done
for him as well.
I feel like that. Yeah, that is quality done.
It's done.
That was a very hectic last few seconds of qualifying right there. So it is Jishnu, the only man in the 15s. 15.998 on a bad day. The timekeeper might not have given him that 15, but they have given it to him. Caesar with a 16-1, Quickiller with a 16-2. Yash Gosalia also with the 16-2, Ahif also with the 16-2, Thakurva with the 16-5, Shadow also with the 16-5, Oxidize with the 16-6, Anton with the 16-8, Raman also with the 16-8, and Abhi Sheds to prove how strong that qualifying was. One of the best qualifiers so far that we've seen in League, Smith. 11th.
Yep. I always felt Abhishek is someone who, nails the qualifying, honestly.
That just goes to how strong that body was. 7 tenths on such a technical track, separating 2nd to 11th. And I think Caesar could have done a better lap, but I think Jishnu just deserve it. He was the one who nailed down that perfect lap. Aside from that first, a bit of a slow first sector, but I think he knew from that lap that he had that middle sector in him from his previous lap. So that was pretty nicely done. But running through the grid order is Jishnu first, Caesar second, Quickiller third, Gosalia fourth, Ahir fifth, Thakura sixth, Shadow in seventh, Oxidize in eighth, Anton in ninth, Ramen in 10th, Abhishek 11th, Chugs 12th, Easy Level was 13th, Wicket Vicky 14th, Abdul Samad 15th, JRL Mosquito 16th. He was the last person to set a time. And then the three people who didn't set times, Abhi, URL Pradeep, and Spandan the gamer. Whew! Hungary qualifying.
While I feel certain tracks people not doing quali is a good thing, do you think Hungary is that track?
Ooh, I wouldn't know because you can overtake in Hungary.
It is difficult, yes. You can, yes. But a
It,
track like Hungary, do you think it's okay to start towards the end?
I would say on the last game, it definitely was more okay to start because we didn't have free tire choice in the last game. So
Hmm.
it does make it a bit unfortunate for the you had to basically put it on top 10 on mediums in order to have a very good chance or be very quick off the start on softs. But I think now with the I mean with the free tire choice rule that has kind of negated it a bit in terms of positioning. But of course viewers, don't panic if you see 20 people punt each other out right now. We are going to have a new lobby for the race itself, so yeah, no worries.
Yep. Now, yes, here we go. We here to see the carnage.
Best takeout
Please, I
earns
mean,
a shout out on
please
stream.
retire. What are people doing?
Oh my
Yes, there you
god,
go.
quick killer,
Yes.
there you go. Oh my god. I
Oh,
think that
does this
is
remind you of
some.
something?
Yes. Quick killer doing his best Valtteri Bottas impersonation right there. And he didn't even DNF,
Yeah,
that's the best part. Unlike
that's the best
Bottas in
part.
real life. Yeah.
Yeah, and he tried to
Yeah.
DNF himself. But okay, now he does. Okay.
Yeah.
And Abhi, guess what?
Now
He's
leave.
P1.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that was one of the better qualifyings that I have seen in this
Yeah.
game. Very close, very compared. Oh my
Do you
god,
think we
Anton
should do
killing me.
this every race, be it a safety car glitch resort or not? Because this kinda, people feel okay. Let's put out the frustration in the initial race instead of the
Yeah, maybe. This
race itself.
URL Pradeep is in some horror movie right here. If you watch the camera closely enough with the safety car, just peering at him from a distance. Uh,
I mean, I hope Pradeep and Wicket Wicket retire.
I hope. Let's see how many G. Because URL Pradeep wanted to do his best Felipe Massa impersonation right there through that corner. But yeah.
Pradeep, buddy,
Yeah, I think he just
thank
wanted
you.
to be on this podium right here that we're going to show
Yes,
on screen.
let's congratulate him in the meantime.
So who was your
But
driver
yes,
of the
that
day?
was lovely, boys.
So who was your driver of the day right there? I would give it to Quick Killer for that. I think 5 car takeout, that was without even DNFing.
Without DNFing.
Yeah,
Yup. And then he goes into the wall, okay, after he's back on track.
yeah,
And he doesn't DNF.
yeah.
And then he
That's
decides to take 1 or 2 car more.
skill, like,
That's dedication
and
out there.
that I feel like that's asserting dominance as well over the other competitors if they try and get a bit too rough with him in the race. He's even trying himself to not be in the race, but he can't. So what hope does everyone else have? I think that is a very strong message sent out by him to the rest of the league.
Yep. Now
Yeah,
we wait.
and look at this, our LOS boys, so good. They've already solved out the incident report amongst themselves in the time that it took for everyone to DNF from this race. Like this league, I tell you, it's a pioneer.
There was already a report, yep.
Yeah, and that report has already been solved. We didn't. No
Already
one even had to
resolved.
get involved. Yeah, that's just.
That's live stewarding right there.
Yeah, that is live showing right there. Come back, people.
LOS season 3 improved.
Yes, the new and improved LOS 2.0.
Yes. 3.0. But yep, here we go. Setting up the lobby now.
Feel free to get involved on the chat, by the way, people. Smith, and I will be answering your questions in this break because we have nothing better to do. Uh, in fact, I mean, if you, I genuinely, if you guys want me to sweat time trial right now for a certain other track, I will do that in the time is making the lobby. If enough people request it, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna keep formation lap on.
Here's our steward saying evening noobs. Yeah, we didn't even need you, bro. Like your stewarding is so incompetent that people have just
Irrelevant.
started to resolve it amongst themselves.
Yep. So can you help me with the grid? I mean, I've already posted it on the tasks.
Yes, let me do just that right now. Um, let's see this. Yeah. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, just a second. I am ready. I am already putting up Caesar in P2.
Yeah. Okay. So it
Yep.
was Jishnu in P1, Caesar in
Yeah.
P2, Quick
Yeah.
Killer in P3, Yash
Yeah.
Gosalia in P4,
Okay.
Ahif in 5th,
Just a second. I have in P5. Okay.
Thakurva in 6th, Shadow Sword in 7th.
Oh, Shadow in 7th. Okay.
Yes. Oxidize 8th, Anton Hypers 9th,
Just a sec. Oxidize 8th. Anton goes 9th.
Ramen in 10th, Abhishek in 11th,
Okay, just a sec. Ramen in 10th. Abhishek's 11th.
Chugs in 12th, Easy Level in 13th,
Easy level P13.
Wicked Wiki 14th, Abdul Samad 15th,
14th and then Abdul 15th.
Mosquito in 16th, Abhi in 17th,
Okay.
and then URL Pradeep and Swandan round out the grid.
Alright, I'm just gonna run through the grid. So Jishnu, Caesar, Quick Killer, Gosalia, Ahif, Thakurwa, Shadow, Oxidize Anton, Ramen,
Yes,
Abhishek's Chugs,
yes,
Easy Level, Wicked Wiki Abdul,
yes,
Mosquito, Abhi, Pradeep, and
yes,
Spandan.
yes.
Perfect. Confirm the changes. I'm just checking the settings one last time before we give a final go ahead. So it was a clear weather, is what I
Yes,
got a confirmation. I'm keeping it clear.
yes.
We have formation lap on, and yeah, I guess we're good to go. Ready up, boys. I must say, quick killer driver of the day.
Yeah, that is. Even if somebody wins from 34 laps down, I don't think anyone will replicate that.
Yep. But I would say driver takeout of the day.
Yeah, I think a lot of women will be flocking over to Quick Kill right now because if you can take people out like that, just imagine
Yes.
what he can do for you. You are welcome for these shoutouts, Quick Kill.
Yep.
I accept
Meanwhile,
all.
I'll be back in just 1 minute.
Yeah, I will just run through the grid. I mean, not if everyone is gonna have to set up their setups. I hope everyone does load in their setup. Of course, that would be a pretty noob thing now after that incredible quali to
Yeah,
forget.
could you just please write it down? I'm gonna do that as well. Load setups,
And
boys.
somebody's already pressed the startup screen, so they have 25 seconds to do this. So yeah, this is.
Never
So
mind, we
I
did our
I
due
guarantee at
diligence.
least one person has forgotten it. That was way too fast to go through any strategy
Let's
whatsoever.
vote. Who would it be? I say Shadow.
I say Shadow as well. I hope it's not Shadow. This would be very, 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 very catastrophic at this point. Who do you think is Basil? Write your answer in the chat.
Yep, I'll be back by the way.
Yeah. All right, that is the formation lap started now. I don't know why we had to wait two 30-second time limits, but okay, whatever it is. Hopefully that did allow everyone to put their setup in, people. But yeah, mediums for Jishnu, hearts for Caesar, mediums for Quick Killer, hearts for Yash Gosalia, and then let me take a long breath for this one. Medium, 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 medium. Then 3 hards, and then 4 mediums again. So no one opting for the soft tire here, and there is a great yellow wall from P5 to P12. So I think this might be Quick Killer might be looking to attack Caesar early on. It's always it's always exciting, wouldn't you say, Chad? When Quick Killer and Caesar fight each other, it's interesting things happen. That's all I'm gonna say. And by the way, yes, it is 100% Shadow.
Yep, so I'm back.
Yeah, so Smith, look at this tire selection. It's Quick Killer on mediums, Caesar on hards. Now, we all know what happened the last time Caesar and Quick Killer fought each other in another league. Are we gonna see the same as Quick Killer spins it, which might actually be a tactic? I don't know.
Can't say anything, can't do anything.
Oh no, he's been disqualified. Oh no.
Do we take back driver of the day?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's getting quite fish taily right now. Look at the gap that Jishnu and Caesar have built to the rest of the grid on this formation lap. They'll be hoping that's the gap in the actual race between them and the rest. As Caesar, that one was definitely meant up. That was a power slide in basically first gear. But of course, the downside to this is that you can get disqualified pretty easily. The game will not hesitate to disqualify you, as everyone I think is rounding up to the grid now. What is happening behind? That was like a gaggle of 7 cars who are all taking the corner at the same time. But yeah, hopefully Cody is giving me a good camera angle, for God's sake.
I mean, it's always on P1 as far as I know.
Yeah, but the P1 camera angle is the far shot, not the near shot. It's a problem. But anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights.
Okay.
And it is lights out and away we go. Okay, here we go. Now finally the camera angles back up. Caesar gets a better start in Jishnu, and they've left everyone else in the dust. Right there of that start. Yash Gosalia gets it through on Quick Killer, but he comes back at him. Will Quick Killer? No, he doesn't. So it's the guys who were starting at the back end of those rows on the grid now getting the positions. A Shadow absolutely sends it down the inside of Quick Killer. Caught him lacking right there. That was a brilliant move from Shadow. I think Shadow knew that Quick Killer had colder tires than him, because he disqualified quite early into the formation lap.
7 positions, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
By him there.
Yeah, that is brilliant, and everyone quite closely huddled up together right now. Shadow is, I thought he might go for a look on Yash Gosalia, you know, but right now it's all. Oh, what's happened there? I saw a car going straight on to Spandan. He's missed the breaking point right there, and he has lost positions. He's still somehow ahead of him. Oxidized Race just pinned it into the wall.
That's a safety car already.
Yeah, so that,
I don't know what happened there, but
I don't know whether he lost it or whether he just hit somebody's rear end or whether they were side by side through that section. But that is a DNF for Oxidized Rage, the first man, the first fatality of this race.
Yeah, and now let's
get a status report in on positions so far. So Caesar's gained 1 position, Jishnu's lost 1, Yash Gosalia's gained 1, Shadow's gained 3, Quick Killer's lost 2, Thakurva and Thakurva's kept his position, and I have lost 2, Raman has gained 2, Easy Level's gained 4, Chugs has gained 2, Abhishek stays firm in P11, Anton's lost 3, Mosquito's gained 3, Wicked Wikis and Abdul Samad have not gained any positions, URL Pradeep's gained 2, Abhi's gained none, and Spandan, he's gained 1, but he gained like 8 of them, and then he just could not break for that. It was like Lewis Hamilton in, I think it was 2015. I think it was when he went into that gravel trap. and 2014 as well. So yeah, I think both those years I think he went into the gravel trap, and that man still has
Don't
7
forget
wins at this circuit.
2021 Baku.
Yeah, and he still has 7 wins at this circuit. So that is how cracked he is at this circuit. But still, yeah. definitely not the start that's. I mean, it is a start that he would have wanted, but also not the start that he would have wanted. The Schrodinger start right there. But because of that, Smith, we don't have a trope that we normally see in these league races, which is somebody gaining a lot of positions off the start because of Spanden's mistake right there.
I mean, he kinda did. Unfortunately, I don't know what.
So it's pretty similar to quali order, then I must say, as similar as it's been in a league race that I've commented on for a long time. So yeah.
What I feel is that I think the curbs on the left hand side just before that chicane in sector 2.
Yeah, you think they unsettled his car?
Yeah, I think that would have unsettled his car because I just saw one car going straight. No brakes, nothing.
It was quite funny. It does look quite funny from the cam angle. And especially if you remember, I think that's the same corner when Nico Rosberg's face stares at you from the fan thing. From 2019, I think. 2020, yes. Where his face stares at you from the Heineken fan thing on the side there, the virtual fans. So yeah, I think Quick Killer will be quick to. He's our resident meme lord. I think he'll be quick to post that footage right there if he has the chance. But yeah, pretty calm. Aside from that, I mean, Shadow Sword, he wants to win at Hungary right now. I think he is absolutely desperate for it.
Yeah.
And I think he is the sentimental favorite here because how many times he's come close at this track, but it just hasn't happened for whatever reason.
This is something which I'm not much aware of in terms of what goes on and around maybe LOS or other leagues, but yes.
Yeah, it is definitely. I would say that Shiloh is a sentimental favorite, and he definitely hasn't forgotten to update his setup. Luckily, because you can't make those moves on a default setup, and if he is doing it on a default setup, then my God, mamma mia. But yeah, I think the safety car should be in this lap, and I think this is good news for the medium tire runners. Actually, this will allow them to prolong this stint, so that they have to use lesser of the hard tires. Actually, it's good news for everyone because the hard tire runners can push more on the medium stint as well. I think strategy is going to be a big element now, especially if another safety car doesn't come out with undercuts and stuff. Hopefully it doesn't, so we can see a good strategical race here. But anyway, safety car is in this lap, and we follow on from Vishnu. It is a bit of a tricky start to get in Hungary because it's just a straight for the leader. Now, when is Caesar gonna go here? Take the last corner. Safety car is in, so he can go from this point now.
Oh,
he has gone. That is a nice one right there. Yash Kosalia got the whole shot. Definitely on Vishnu. As he pulls across, he goes side by side, which is not going to be close enough. He had to back off. Quick Killer goes around the outside. I thought he was going to catch that, but he's a victim of just too many cars right there. 3 into 1 does not go. As Martin Brundle would say, there's a classic Brundle quote right there from me. But that was definitely something right there.
And Spandan, oh no.
What's happened to Spandan?
He's DNF.
Oh, has he? Oh, I think he's lost traction on the outside, on the exit of that corner. And Quick Killer definitely has damage right now. So we have lost one of the leading pack runners. And that might complicate it in the future for these guys pitting because Quick Killer is going to be out of circulation with everyone now. So you have to think about him on your pit stops if another safety car doesn't come out. And if a safety car does come out, then it's going to be even more difficult because he's going to be back in contention.
Yeah, but Jishnu looks very feisty.
Yeah, he is on those mediums versus those hards, so he knows he has to get something done. But of course, there will be no DRS for another 2 laps after this. So he will have to make the move on track, on pure pace alone, and in a straight line. Everyone's running such high downforce setups. Can he get alongside enough? Caesar does not really defend that one this time around. I think he's playing the smart game here.
Right.
And now he's not even gonna bother going side by side with him. So I think Caesar is just gonna try and take his DRS. Either that or
Oh, but did he get
one
it? Oh no!
by Yash Gosalia, and that allows Shadow Sword of all people to get it through on both of them.
Yep, that helps Shadow to gain.
And Shadow and Jishnu.
great
Oh
positions up
no, Shadow. Why would you? Oh god. Anyway, Shadow Sword and Jishnu. These people are teammates in another league. They have quite a good relationship from what I've gathered. So hopefully, and Shadow Sword slowing down. I don't. Okay, that is the first time I've seen a drive-through penalty for corner cutting.
Yeah, but he gained 3 positions with drive-through itself.
Also, what's happened to Shadow? He has lost. Don't tell me he actually forgot to load his setup. He's lost 1.5 seconds.
He doesn't have a right front end.
End plate, yeah.
End plate.
Yes, he has to pit. And he does pit.
He goes into the pits.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Abhishek has left the lobby, so can you please re-invite him if possible? So Jishnu leads now. He leads by a comfortable 3.6 seconds to Yash Gosalia. And in P3, there's Thakurva, Ahif, Raman, Chugs. So this is all looking so good for Jishnu right now. Not only does he have the big gap, but it's a DRS train behind him, so no one can even overtake right now.
And you remember the last time Chugs climbing up those positions gradually? I think this is what he's doing right now. He was P12, now he's P6.
Yeah. And for Jishnu, I do feel bad for him. He probably would have gotten a podium in Brazil even after all of that. Remember his safety car strategy in when the safety car came in and everything like that.
That was such
but
a
then he
strategy.
just binned it in the formation lap right at the end of it. And I don't think he'll have forgotten that. Look at what he's driving. He's pulling. That is not a tire difference. A tire difference is not 8/10ths on a lap.
Wait, why is the Mosquito letting others go? Does he have a front wing damage or something?
I think he was letting his team.
No, he literally let a lot of cars.
Oh, meanwhile, Raman has spun. But
wait, Mosquito left the session. There's something going on.
Yeah. So, my God, Smith, look at this lead over the line. So does Yash Gosalia have damage? It is 5 seconds. Jishnu is driving in a different division right now. I think Thakurva knows. I think Thakurva sensed it. I think Thakurva sensed it that something's not right here with Gosalia's car, and he needs to make this overtake fast because even right now I think it might be too late without the safety car to challenge Jishnu. But it's a very comfortable P2 for him right now with Gosalia's face right there. If he can get this overtake done.
Yeah. Bro, all these guys are quite close from P2 to
meanwhile,
P6.
Raman just limps back into the pits. Quick killer on softs now. So I think he's just gambling on that safety car coming out sometime. Yep. Look at this. He did not even have the chicane yet.
God. That was too close. That was too close.
Look at the gap, Smith. He's gaining a second a lap right now. I think Gosalia definitely does have damage at this point. So props to him for being able to keep that car in a straight line and keeping the car away from any and then Chugs is DNF on the mains on that straight right there, and there is a safety car. God. So all of that work that Jishnu did, it was 6 point.
His car is ghosted. I don't know.
Yeah, I think his car is gone now, and of all the people coming through here right now, only this thing, Quick Killer is driving. Oh my God, that is a bad crash right there. He just lost it on corner exit. But you know who this brings back into play? Shadow Sword, because he doesn't have to pit now until the end.
Yeah, and that helps Yash as
I think Jishnu will more be cursing the fact the time the safety car came out and not the fact that it did come out, because he just crossed the last corner, I think.
Yep.
And Yash Gosalia has decided to pit. And he's pit on mediums again. Or was he on hards earlier? No, he was on hards earlier. But he's not going to make it to the end on this medium. So he might go back and pit again for those hards. Which is a disaster right now. I think Jishnu, he shouldn't panic too much. I think he's pretty much got a comfortable pace advantage on everyone right now.
Because he went on softs, you said, right?
Yeah, he was on softs, so now he's pit on hard. So he was gambling for that safety car coming out. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Caesar's pit yet, has he? When he spun, he just kept on going.
Caesar, I think he did.
Let
Oh,
me
no,
just check
he
on
did not. He
stops.
did
No,
not.
he has not. The only people who pit so far, Gosalia, Ahif, who Ahif doesn't have to pit as well.
Yeah,
So,
it was Gosalia, Ahif, Shadow, Quick Killer,
yeah. So right
Rahman.
now,
Those are
as
four.
it stands, because safety cars in that, it is Ahif who is actually the race leader right now because no one can pit anymore because the grid's all bunched up now, and it's Shadow in second and Quick Killer in third because Yash Gosalia has to pit again. He can't get that medium tire till the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how safety cars change races, people. It's
But
definitely
Gosalia in
something.
pits again.
There was almost contact right there. And Gosari has to pit right now. He has to go on those hards. He cannot stay. And he gets a 5
That's
seconds of speeding in
5
pit lane.
seconds.
Oh no. That won't even be solved this time. He'll have to come in again to solve that. Oh no,
Yeah, but he.
will it be solved?
I think they
No,
did
but
not
they
change his
already
front
changed
wing
the
from the
tires
last
though. Yeah,
time.
they were changing the front wing. And he's out on
Yeah.
softs.
I
Oh,
think
I
he's just
understand
wasting
what
the
he's
softs.
doing. I understand what he's doing.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna
pit
pit
again.
again. He's gonna
Yep.
pit again. To come off. He's gonna solve the 5 seconds and go out on hards. So
Good
he's
evening,
already done 3
Chips.
stops. Hello,
Yeah.
Chips. What's up? So I mean, it's a Ferrari strategy right there, I must say, from Yash
No, this
Gosalia.
is something very similar that happened to me in the previous race in this other league, IRL, and where I lost
What
my
is
front
that?
wing and.
But yeah, I
I
must
lost my
say
front
that
wing and yeah, they didn't
I
change it.
must say the
So
hard tire, unlike real life, actually works around here. We all know what Ferrari were doing in real life. Now they were just playing the game, and they thought that the hard tire was working in the game, so it would work in real life around here.
yeah, if the safety car is in this lap, then Yash Gosalia is gonna lose big time.
I think it probably is in this lap, you know. You can't pit 3 times under a safety car. You can barely pit twice. And yeah, look at
Safety
that.
car,
There's confirmation.
yeah.
So we're gonna follow from Thakurva here. Now, I don't. Do you think Jishnu has something to be worried about, or do you think it will take too long for the likes of Ahif and Shadow to overtake these slower cars? I should say, considering the position they were in earlier, to clear the traffic and get up to him.
It would definitely be a bit difficult, yes, to clear the traffic and get up to him.
Now,
But I also
Jishnu
feel
needs to have a good
Jishnu
safety car
has already
restart here
gone
because if
away.
he loses out the position.
Wait, Jishnu is already.
Yeah, he has gone. He has gone.
Damn, that's a
And look
1
at
second
look
gap
at Jishnu.
already.
Forget Jishnu. Look at Thakurva.
Wait, Easy Level got Anton before?
No,
Wow,
I think he
that was
overtook
lovely
him
if he
on
did.
the line. We did not see full confirmation of that, but Jishnu definitely with the
Yeah, and Wicked Wiki almost on Anton there.
look at the gap between second and third of that safety car
Yeah.
restart. So either someone's been caught napping or something else has happened. But look at Wicket Wiki now. He's trying to go on
And
the
Abhishek
outside of
Khan.
Anton Hypus. But he cannot get the move done. Caesar needs to be careful here. He knows that perhaps a podium or even the win is still on the line, but he needs to be very, very careful getting through all of this traffic. And I would say the
Oh,
same
that
for
was
the
a
likes
great
of
exit.
Shadow and Ive. I think they can easily get till the end. Was that? There was some side-by-side racing there. But Jishnu once again has just pieced out ahead. 1.4 ahead of the next car.
Yeah, and Shadow and Yash being held up by Abhi over there. And they're
And I
getting
think I think if I
really-
were Shadow, I'd let Yash overtake me right now. He's obviously going to have to pit again. There's no point in fighting him for position. You can use him as
No,
sort
he's,
of.
he's not really fighting him. They're fighting Abhi right now for the position. And
Let's go to
Yash
the
gets really
inside
close
of
with Abhi.
Abhi. Oh, Abhi not
that was
really
too close.
fighting it. We know his policy when it comes to racing. He just lets things happen. And now I think Shadow shouldn't fight Yash Gosali. He's obviously going to be faster than him with that tire difference.
Yeah, and in all that, Caesar round the outside of Wicked Wiki into turn
And
1,
Caesar's
and
doing
he
a
gets him
smart.
already.
Caesar's doing a smart thing here. He knows that if he gets to P3, he can start driving at his own pace. How
Oh, no,
quickly
no,
he gets to
please
P3?
don't tell
What's
me
happening?
that.
Gaurav Pradeep, he's done a spinala
He
in turn
spun,
1
yeah.
there, and he's spun again trying to correct the spin. So I have now up to P8, and remember he doesn't have to pit at all, whereas Caesar does. So
Yep.
I think the gap between Jishnu and Ahif right now, what is it? Around 1, 5 and Shadow's up into P9 as well. Going around the
Yeah,
outside is Yash Gosalia. And that is a he's
that was
definitely done a
way too
madness right
close.
there.
Yeah,
1-6 around 9 to 10 seconds. So I think right now IF would have to catch up that gap on Jishnu, because I feel like Jishnu, if he pits, would still be able to catch IF and overtake him. At the rate is going, and props to Thakurva as well. He is relatively sticking around with Jishnu's pace, and we know the pace Jishnu is going at right now.
yeah. Jishnu was definitely
He's punching
much
it, and look at
quicker.
Thakurva. He's
Yeah, and it's
relatively like
easy
he's
level.
within a tenth and a half, 2 tenths around
Yeah,
each lap, and I think that's quite respectable for him right there. Especially when one man, he's turned into the master of Hungary right now, Lewis Hamilton style. And now
yep.
Caesar, he can't make another overtake though. He's not close enough. And now what's happened?
That is,
There's
I think,
URL Pradeep
Pradeep.
spun around again. It's not
Yep.
turning into a good race for him right now. I for sure thought he would pit because his tires are going to be so heated right now. And just put on a new tire and do a strat.
I
Has he
guess
spun
he
again?
is fun again.
Yes,
Yash
he has.
Gosalia
Yes,
overtakes
yes.
Shadow and all that, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I think Shadow's smart here. He knows that he's not really fighting Yash Gosalia, at least right now. And Yash Gosalia is gonna have to make overtakes. He's gonna have to force the issue. Does easy level what have damage? He is losing like 2 seconds. I know
yeah,
Thakurva and Jishnu are going very fast, but it's 2 seconds a
he's
lap
lost.
he's losing.
Like he's already lost 6 seconds to Thakurva in just like 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah,
So and
if he keeps that up for like a couple more laps, that will be near a pit stops gap. This way, so definitely Caesar now he needs to get this overtake at least on Anton done. I think he's gonna be cursing the fact that Anton is there, because if Anton were, oh my God, Shadow Sword, you sneaky overtake on Ahif right there.
is that quick killer? I think that's quick killer. Yep.
Oh no, it's not looking good for the McLarens, is it? It is a good qualifying from Quick Killer, great qualifying even, but nothing's happening right now. And I think Caesar is getting very frustrated that Anton Hypers is there in between, because I think he would have passed easy level pot by now if it was just the one car there. Meanwhile, Thakurva still within the 1.5 to 1.7 second gap of Jishnu, not letting him get away. He is definitely making him think more than the last stint.
Oh, but look at Anton's really
Look at
close.
how close
Second half
Anton
to
is
Yeah.
to this guy,
Easy level.
Easy level. Man,
he's like
he is
too
literally
close to
almost
the
pushing him
gearbox.
through the corner at this point. So
Please don't
something
take that
has to
inside
be
curve.
wrong with Easy Level's car.
And in all that, Caesar is also.
Yeah, and this is going to be so annoying for Caesar as well, because he doesn't want to risk it. Meanwhile, what's happened to Quick Killer? Quick Killer spun again.
I think it's spinning him.
Meanwhile, Abdul Samad and
Abdul.
Shadow. Abdul was smart to get out of that right there. He was almost had a spin.
And in all that,
And
Ahif
Abdul has
also.
to take to the escape road even. Does he have damage? Doesn't look like anything to me. So I think he's just gotten very off track. And Thakurva spun!
No. Easy. He
Oh
did, yes.
no! That is not good. That is
Positions
not
and
good.
he goes into the pits. He is lost at the end played.
Oh no, that
bad.
was he had
But-
no.
Oh, but look at Caesar. Look at Caesar. Caesar on Anton.
Caesar now pounces on Anton Hypers. He knows that he has to get the move done. He needs this podium
makes
at
it.
least. I don't think. Look at that gap, by the way. It's a disgusting gap.
And
wicket,
that is
wickets, DNF, what's happened here?
Oh,
And
that's
that
a
is another
safety
safety
car
car.
again.
Every time Jishnu fills this gap of the game, just
But look
Just
at
mute
that
us it.
gap.
But he can easily
11
pit now.
seconds. He can pit and still stay, I guess, P1, P2.
yeah, he will still probably be P1, and everyone else has to
This is
pit
a
as well.
great time.
Remember, that's not Ahif and Shadow.
Yep.
So, I mean, he is coasting right now. And I think Thakurva, he will be so gutted right there. There was no pressure on him from behind. That's what's gonna be that's what makes the spin probably even worse. Is that there's no pressure behind. He was just chasing for the win. It was an easy P2 as well, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
And now the safety cars come out, so it would have been P2.
Do you think Caesar would pit?
I think Caesar can't afford to pit. If he pits, then it's really
They can
screwed these guys
lead
on
him
a.
go 20
Yeah,
laps.
it probably can't. I mean, Jishnu, this is different. This is racing heritage right here. He's gonna pit,
But
and Caesar does
is in the
pit.
pit. Yep.
I think Jishnu's gonna come out second, even if no one else pit.
Yash pits. Yeah, of course, he was on softs. Shadow stays out
Shadow
because he
can easily
doesn't
make
need
it
to.
in the end. Will Shadow
Arif,
come
of
out
course,
ahead of
doesn't need
Jishnu?
to.
Oh, it's gonna be close, and he is ahead of Jishnu. So Jishnu will have to make this overtake on track now.
Mosquito doesn't fit.
Ooh,
Is
that is surprising. Does he not have a fresh set of
yeah.
hearts? And Caesar's on medium, so he will have to pit again. There's no way a set of mediums. Even if he does make it till the end, he's gonna be very, very low on tire grip towards the end. And the strategy that is dictating right now is gonna have to be a defensive one at the end.
But in all that, Quick Killer did kind of climb positions.
Yeah, so for the interest in this race spin, for the sake of that, at least Shadows was ahead of Jishnu right now. So that is one overtake that Jishnu will have to make on track. Now, how much do you think Shadow's gonna push Jishnu here? Consider the relationship they have in other leagues and stuff like that. But consider also the desperation Shadow has to win this particular GP, the Hungarian one. He's come so close in the past, and he knows he's not. He knows it's between him and Jishnu.
But then we have Arif as well.
Yeah, and also one thing I forgot to mention in all of this, look who's on fresh hearts. Abhishek's, Anton Hypers and Abhi. And look, there's some fresh medium runners here as well in Abdul and Caesar. They will definitely have to pit again. And so will Mosquito, because he's on one mediums. And Yash Gosalia on mediums. Will these make it till the end? I have a doubt on that one. So, don't count those guys out just yet. But yeah, we're definitely in for some interesting dynamics here with this Jishnu Shadow fight. I think if it was a pure circuit race, I think Jishnu would have won by a big amount. Consider how far ahead he was on both of those before the first safety car and then after the first safety car.
I mean, already at the start of safety car, I would say he had a gap of 1 second on Thakurwa. And
then I think the person who has to be gutted the most is Thakurwa. Not only did he spin from, I think, a very comfortable P2, wouldn't you say, Smith? But safety car comes out literally the next lap. I think he probably would have still been in the podium fight, like on strategy alone. But given that he's the only man so far who's shown pace comparable to Jishnu, he should be able to make his way up the grid, especially consider that there are some free overtakes here. Guys who are on mediums.
You cannot exclude the fact ahead of him, it's Quick Killer who finished P3.
And Caesar as well. And Caesar's on mediums right now. So Caesar is going to have to charge up the grid right now. There's no other option for him. He can't afford to sit back like he was in the last stint. If he doesn't do it now, then by the time he actually gets up there, his tires are going to be too short to do anything. And he's going to lose positions to these guys on hards. Yeah. It's very interesting right now. And normally in a race, the safety cars do take it away a bit. But I feel like the safety cars have made it very, very interesting. Because everyone's on a different strategy. As the safety car is in this lap, we will follow on from Shadow Sword's point of view.
But I must say, Jishnu has always cracked down the strategy just perfect. Even right now.
Because you would say that even in that Brazil race, Smith, he probably didn't have the pace of a podium sitter. Yet he was right there all the way until the end, and it was really only his mistake that cost him that podium.
Yeah. And meanwhile, let's go on board with Shadow.
What's Easy Level going to do? Remember, Easy Level probably can't fight that hard because he has to pit very, very soon. So fighting will cost him time. And he does go. Now, one thing we forgot to mention is that Ayub and Jishnu are teammates. So how much is Ayub going to fight him?
If they are in the party chat, I think...
Oh, meanwhile, Mosquito trying to go around the outside. Ayub's had a moment there though. I think he's trying to get out of the way of Jishnu. Ramen, meanwhile, just bounces. Meanwhile, Shadow, Easy Level pod, side by side. Shadows are down the inside. What an overtake. Right there. This is racing. And meanwhile, Easy Level has to go up the hill.
Easy Level on the outside. That was very close. And now in the inside.
Oh, now he's going to turn it back onto the outside. Oh, Shadow's going to try and Jishnu, meanwhile. He's going to get the position, I think. Yeah, I think this should be done. Easy Level's not going to risk it. And that is brilliant race mind done from Jishnu. Racing IQ was on point right there. He just waited for two people to have something as Yash
And
Gosalia has
spun.
spun.
He's lost paces.
How
Oh,
did
yeah,
he
he's
come back
lost
on
paces.
track? So, did he reset the track? I don't know.
I have absolutely no idea. And
Anton's
Anton.
got straight on. It's not spun.
Yep.
And Quick Killer has also had to take avoiding action there for some reason. He's lost position. There's grass on his
Oh,
tires.
no.
So he's...
Caesar. Caesar makes
What's
contact
happening?
with Mosquito there.
Oh. And Mosquito is gonna be the big block right now in this. He's on 16
Yeah.
lap old mediums. So you
I
need.
have absolutely no clue why he did not pit. But
Yeah, I don't know
yep,
why he
let's
didn't
carry
pit
on.
either. But now Jishnu versus Shadow Sword. This is what we. This is prime time entertainment right here. Meanwhile, Mosquito is not giving up though. In all fairness to him, those tires will be short. What's
And
happened to
Anton.
Anton?
I think he retired in the pits. He's retired in the pits.
I feel bad for Anton. He was generally like in the top 6 or something at one point in this race. Now Jishnu was Shadow. These two. We've been building it up. So let's see. Anything that happens now is interesting as Pradeep around the outside of Abhi. That's a good overtake right there. And judging from how close Jishnu can stay of Shadow, I think he definitely has more pace than him at this point in time. That is because of the tire weight discrepancy. But that also means that he shouldn't
look
risk
at Caesar.
trying and
Caesar
overtake
very close,
Caesar.
and I think Quick Killer has spun.
Yeah, he has spun it again. Quick Killer,
Unfortunate.
remember, Quick Killer's not done as much league racing on this game as he did on last year's game at this point. So he's just getting up to
in
race
the
form. Quali
meantime,
pace.
I'm on board with Caesar. He
Caesar
dies.
could die from the inside.
On Mosquito.
No, but he cannot. He does not have the traction necessary. He just bit of RG, but no, still nothing. And he can't. There's Abdul Samad right behind him, so he can't get too over ambitious. But now with the pure grip advantage right there, and he does get the move done, and he probably. Now Abdul Samad's gonna come and Mosquito. Look at that, he blew by him in the straight. What's happened there? I think Mosquito needs to pit right now. I don't know why he's still out on track right now. Those 18 lap old mediums. He's just harming his race.
Stretching it, and he's just letting people go. I think.
Oh no, that was
Thakur.
Thakur.
All right.
So right now it's very interesting. Jishnu is just he's not really trying anything on Shadow, and that does make sense.
Yeah, he's just keeping behind Shadow. I think. Maybe
I think he's just waiting for Shadow to make a mistake right now, and then if he's just way too slow, then he might just try and pass him on track anyway. But sure I would say it's looking pretty well for Haas, isn't it? They have like the perfect gap where no team orders can be initiated, like this 2.5 to 3 second gap where they don't have to worry about fighting for the win or like any strategy calls or something.
In all that.
Caesar down the inside now, and Caesar has to get a move on here. I think he needs to be P1 to be honest, to have any chance.
Yeah, I mean he's catching up real quick. I should give that to him. And Jishnu is also very close to Shadow.
I think I have seen it in his mirrors, and he is gonna go for the move here. Look at the line from Caesar's camera angle. Look at the line that those two take compared to him.
He's
around the outside, but now Caesar. You see there's a bit of contact, a bit of archie-barchie on the side pods, but
my god, look at Caesar already. What grip! I must give that to Caesar.
Caesar down the inside! Oh my god, what a move!
What an overtake.
I should give that to Caesar again. No.
Quick Killer, calm down, buddy.
By the way, what's Easy Levelbot's agenda here? Because he definitely has to pit. I don't think he's pit yet. So,
yeah,
do you think there's a reason he's defending this hard? Does he think that he can come back at these people later on?
Yeah, he still hasn't pitted. I have no idea. Maybe he's waiting for, I don't know, a safety car again so that he could pit on mediums and then, gun for it to the end. I don't know what his strategy, but yeah.
Oh, Easy Level. Just about made Caesar doubt that move. And now Jishnu will have definitely seen it or heard it if they're in the party chat from Ahif that Caesar is there now. I don't think he has much to worry about. The gap is like 5 seconds almost as Quick Killer spins again. Start the counter, lads. I think that was number 5 for your benefit.
Yeah,
and Jishnu goes down the inside. Shadow, I think he needs... Does he have the grip there? You saw his tires really struggling to bite in. to return.
But Shadow giving a
But
good
Shadow, look
fight
at
to
that.
Jishnu
Look at how
there.
well he positions
And
his car right there for the
Caesar.
defensive move. Yash Gosalia and
Yep.
Thakurwa, meanwhile, side by side, same move, and Yash Gosalia does the same exact thing, and Thakurwa has to worry about Abdul Samad's car being in there as well. I
Yep.
think
And
Caesar
in all
right
that,
now
Caesar
could.
did overtake.
Yeah, I think Caesar honestly should be targeting finishing ahead of Thakurwa or someone here. At the rate it's going, I don't think even if he catches Jishnu, his tires might just run out of life by that point. I think Caesar needs to
Yeah.
make sure that he doesn't need to pit until the end of this race. So I think he should go into a tire conservation mode right here. He's already 1 second ahead of easy level, so there's no threat of him being actually overtaken.
Yeah, and Easyland is someone who still needs to pit. So
Yeah, and I think that if
that's a safety car. No, Thakurwa.
did
Oh
oh,
no! I think this
and
was
that
one of
is
the
a safety
corners where
car,
he spun during the quali as well. So
and that gives
maybe
Shadow Sword the lead on track because Jishnu's not pit. Why did he pit?
Jishnu knows he doesn't need to. I don't know. Caesar?
Caesar didn't pit.
stayed out.
No, Caesar can now go till the end. So yeah, why did he pit? He's gonna be on a tire disadvantage now. He would have lost one position to Shadow had he pit. Now he could potentially lose a lot more than one position.
Shadow now on mediums.
I must
5
say
lap
though,
old mediums.
credits to Quick Killer. He spun like 6 stars. He's still in the race somehow. Because all of his spins.
And he's gonna catch up. So yeah. That's gonna give him some hopes, and he's not gonna spin again.
Oh,
but what lines
was,
is he taking?
what was that Quick Killer? I don't know. And lucky for him though, if he spun one more time, he probably would have been lapped before the safety car came out. Now
let's check position change. Look at Abdul and Pradeep. Oh, lovely. What is up with Abdul all of a sudden?
Yeah, Abdul Samar, Abdul crack. This is D1 Samar right here. But are you surprised that none of the Haas boys pit? Because with Jishnu is on 7 lap old hards, IF is on 14 lap old hards, and he didn't pit as well.
Bigger question is, did Mosquito pit? Okay, he did.
Yeah, he did pit. So, but he pit on hard, but he had to pit on hard. So that strategy didn't make much sense because now he's on the slower tire, and Quick Killer pits on softs for some reason. I'm just gonna pit again for mediums. Yeah. Oh. And you know one thing that's happening here, Smith, is that you only get one set of fresh mediums and fresh hards. So unlike last game where you could basically just spawn in fresher medium and hards, you can only spawn them in one time. So you look at Shadow here, and he's on fresh tires, but he's on tires that he used at the beginning of this race. So it's not like it's completely fresh. So you can't just keep on spamming the pit stops at safety cars. Now. Yep. That being said, I still expect Shadow to be in this podium shout. And if Ahif has done this thing to be rear gunner, but if Jishnu had pit, there would be no need for him to do the rear gunner. Or if he pits, I think they've taken the most fair team decision, which was to do the same strategy so that none of them finishes ahead. Because I think if Ahif finished ahead of Jishnu in this race, I think that would be a bit of dampener in team spirits, let's say, because Jishnu's been faster this weekend than Ahif. But in terms of winning the race, that's not really the best strategy. In terms of keeping it fair, it is the same strategy. It is the best strategy because they're both doing the same thing, which is not pitting. And Ahif is behind Jishnu, so he's gonna, of course, be losing more positions if they don't win. But they could have won. But they had a higher chance of winning, Gosalia. I should say. They can still win, and Gosalia has left the session, so invite him back.
Yep.
But what's your angle on this thing?
Honestly, I mean, I want to see what Caesar actually does now that he's on mediums. He could overtake Jishnu, but for how long is he gonna keep him behind? And at the same time, Shadow, while he's dropped down a few positions,
I think it will be. I think the two battles we're gonna see here is Jishnu versus Caesar and Ahif versus Shadow Sword. But Shadow needs to make his way past Gosalia, Abdul Samad, and Pradeep, which would give Ahif enough of a gap as Gosalia joins between the Oh no!
Gosalyan. Oh, what happened there? Is
So
he
your
going
AI
on
will pit under
softs?
a safety car if you are not in control of it. He has joined, but he
Oh,
didn't join in time to prevent the
and
AI pitting.
holy god, look, he's on hards.
The only person here who's gonna be happy about that is Shadow Sword, because that's made his job much easier now.
Wow.
What's your podium prediction here, right now? Do you think we're gonna see both Haases on the podium, one
I
Haas, or
definitely do
even?
feel that.
I think it would be
I
pretty
definitely feel.
doomsday. I think it would be pretty doomsday scenario if we didn't see any of them even on the podium at this point, considering how
Yeah.
much of a pace advantage Jishnu has had. And Nahif has just smartly worked his way up the grid, as he always does. The reason why he's gotten this far in such a short span of time, but yeah. And will Quick Killer score points here?
Quick Killer is not scoring points, I feel. He is.
He will make this easy position on Gosalia up, because he's on softs versus Gosalia on hards.
Yeah, I mean, but Quick Killer needs to fit again.
I don't know, but we've already seen so much carnage happens with. There's only like 3 more cars that need to DNF for Quick Killer to score
Yeah,
points.
I mean, I have seen him spin a lot. That is
Yeah, but
one thing.
now safety car in, they've strapped yourselves 10 laps of very, very interesting entertainment. Who says you can't overtake at Hungary, by the way? Watch this race. Now, Jishnu, he's been really good at it. I feel like he's already had to do like 10 safety car restarts in this season already as the leader. So that just speaks to how good he's been so far this season to start off.
Yep.
But he will have gotten
Has
the
he
most
gone
experience out,
already?
and he goes at the
Oh,
same point that he did last time, because he knows that the safety car will come in by the time he hits that main straight. So it's not. That's very clever right there.
wow, very clever, very clever. I must give him that. Because that definitely catches people. And Quick Killer has
Oh,
already
look at
spun.
Ahif there. He was trying to warm up those tires. Even
Wait,
in.
that is so not right by Quick Killer, I mean, at this point, but okay.
Wait, has he spun again?
Yep, he has fun and he just cuts the pit lane and goes into the
I
pits,
think
I
he
guess.
needs to be called
He's
Spandan the
retiring.
gamer at this point. Uh, what's happened
That
in the
is Quick
last
Killer
sector? He
retiring.
retires.
Yes.
Let it end. I think he didn't have any more fresh tires to go on. Meanwhile,
Abhishek
Yash
with a few
Kosalia
seconds.
overtakes Abhishek down the inside. Simple as that. And look at Caesar. He's really close to Jishnu right now. He hasn't had
Yeah.
this chance the entire race pretty much to be
And look at
anywhere
Shadow.
near.
He's also close to Pradeep. Like
Yeah,
very
and
into
Shadow
close.
knows that his fight is not really with Pradeep, it's with Ahif for that podium. And I think Pradeep also knows that. Look at the gap behind. Meanwhile, Abhi P7 again leading this train. Um, he knows that, he probably would. It's not really pace wise the fight that he's looking for. Because Shadow not only is on fresher tires, he's on fresher tires of the faster compound.
Yeah.
And if I will say this 8 laps that Shadow's done on this medium, very deceptive. Consider how many safety cars came out in at 8 laps. So it's probably only like 3 laps of actual racing that's been put on that tire. So it's much fresher than the 8 laps or 9 laps that the game says. And for Caesar, I think
No,
that's
so
not as
when
much
he
the case. I think that tire definitely has around 8 to 9 laps of wear on it. Meanwhile, easy level bot and Rahman going side by side. This corner just proven it's pretty much the favorite
all
overtaking
these
zone of
three
everyone.
guys,
Now, 3 wide up
Rahman and
the
Abhi,
hill,
oh
they
my
wouldn't try it,
god.
would they?
Oh,
But Abhi
lovely.
with brilliant defensive driving right there just makes the car really big. Now Caesar, look at how close he is, and you get the feeling that he's waiting for DRS to come on. Meanwhile, Shadow did not overtake Pradeep on that lap because Pradeep has DRS as well, and that's going to be annoying him right now. He needs to make up 2.2 seconds to catch up, which I think he can. But how many laps is he going to have to try and overtake Ahif after he gets the move done?
Yeah. And imagine a safety car coming out again, so that's gonna even more kinda screw him.
Meanwhile, battle for the lead. You can see Caesar has so much more grip, and we come across the line. I don't know what Jishnu did on that lap. Caesar does a 120.0. So, meanwhile, Shadow Sword
And
finally,
Shadow
now he
overtakes.
pulls the trigger, and I think the next overtake should be easier considering Abdul won't have DRS, and his ERS light is already blinking for some reason, which is kind of strange considering we've only done 2 laps. So, I don't even know how you use 90% ERS around this track that much,
Shadow
considering so
down
many
the
corners, and Abdul
side.
Samad's smart, he's not
Very
gonna fight
easy.
that.
Yep.
And now Shadow can get on the hunt. We are definitely, and look at this, IF does not have the pace of the top 2, so it is definitely a fight now between these two guys. And meanwhile,
Yep.
Ramen around the outside of Abhi. Good overtake right there.
Yeah, that has
Meanwhile,
been.
I must say, Jishnu, the fact he's even ahead right now, it's a massive credit to him. There's no reason why he should be right now.
Abhishek spun. Unfortunate.
He's kept the motor running. And look, Jishnu's always made that second gap up. If he can get it up to a second, then he doesn't have to worry about as much because Caesar will obviously have to start
Wait, it's
pushing his
already
tire
losing a
more.
second.
Yeah, he'll have to start pushing the tire more in the cornering section, so he won't have enough to bite back at him through DRS. Does he have DRS? No, he doesn't.
Nope, he doesn't.
Smartly done. Meanwhile, Pradeep and Abdul Samad. URL Pradeep, I must say, when was the last time you saw him in a lofty position like this? And he is definitely having one of the best races, obviously racing career, I would say.
Yeah, 13 positions climbed. That's a great race by him. Kept it clean, I believe.
Yeah, hopefully
And
now.
in
He
all
doesn't
that
really have
shadow.
any threat from behind. Everyone behind him is like a second behind him now. Maybe Raman will
Yeah.
catch up to him by the end of this race, but that would still be like a P7 minimum finish at this rate if he doesn't make a mistake. Now Caesar's caught up again, but how much ERS is he having to use, Smith, to now keep up within that 1 second? And remember, if you use more ERS, you're gonna have lesser to actually overtake the guy. And look at Shadow
True.
Sword. He has closed up now, and I think this is not going to be as much of a battle as we predicted unless Ahif can pull off. Look at Shad, even in the corners how much he's gaining.
He's definitely making the most out of those mediums right now because he knows it's just 7 laps remaining.
Yeah, but
And
I
he
must
can
credit
definitely
Ahif
run
though.
for
He
it.
has played
No,
and Yash Goswami
Gosalia.
has spun it into the barrier. I must say he has played the part of the selfless teammate.
Oh,
As
no,
there's a
Caesar
safety car,
into
there's
the
a safety
pits.
car, there's a safety car.
Oh, and do you
Oh,
think
I
Ahif
thought
in the
Jishnu didn't react to it for a second
Shadow,
there, you know.
why would you pit?
No, everyone is gonna have to pit now. It's gonna be a
Look
soft
at that. URL's Pradeep stays out.
URL Pradeep stays out. That means URL Pradeep is gonna be leading at the safety car
Yep.
restart. Everyone on softs now. I mean, but is somebody going to be able to overtake IF considering
Bro,
he'll
what
have a
happened to
slower
easy
stop?
level? Oh, he
No
had
clue,
to
and
go
I don't even know
little
why
bit
there's a
deep.
safety car. To be honest, considering that no one even DNF.
Yeah.
This is
But
turned into the
in
Michael
all
Masi
that-
simulator right here.
Pradeep is now P4. Sorry, Abhi.
Yeah,
Do you
P4,
think
but
he's
he
gonna
is.
fight this now?
I think Abhi's race is with the other Abhi.
What do you mean?
Because they're both on hard tires. They're both on the same lap old tires, and Abhishek has a penalty as well. So I think Shadow Sword is pretty much gonna breeze by this position. But now the interesting thing here is how will Jishnu be able to make this overtake on Pradeep without being overtaken himself?
Interesting.
We've seen
We could
in
be
this
looking
race
for that.
many examples already, Smith, of
Yep.
people going for an overtake and then getting overtaken.
Yeah.
I think I think it's going to be 4 laps or 5 laps of racing around. So that the tires are not going to wear off or fall off in that time, and there's going to be 2 laps with the DRS at the end. So
No, definitely more. I think safety car should be in the next lap. So that's 38, and then you have 33, 34, 35. 3 laps. Of
why
DRS.
did GRL pit? Now that Sid Venkatesh asking a question, he was on 4 lap old softs. Well, I think Sid, he didn't lose any positions anyway, so he might as well be on the fresher tire. The more interesting question was why he didn't pit on his earlier medium tire run, which he took to like lap 20 something. Softs fall off very quick around Hungary URL Basel. That means that the softs are very.
Abhishek in the pit.
I think Abhishek just realized that the strategy wasn't going to work.
Yeah, but wasn't that too late?
I think he thought that not the entire grid wouldn't pit. One thing you have to consider with these is that it's a herd mentality at safety cars, isn't it? If Abhishek hadn't pit and like 3 or 4 people hadn't pit with him, then he would have been on the right strategy. But everyone else did pit and he didn't pit. So that puts him like way back. Why is Yash Kosalia pitting again? How many pits? Wait. This man is on a 6-stop strategy in a bone try race.
Wow.
Let us just.
Did he pit or was he serving
Yeah,
a
he
drive
pit,
through
he
or
pit, he
something?
pit, he pit. That was
Okay.
a pit stop.
Wow.
Sid, I don't think like it's hard tires versus soft tires at this point. Even worn softs, like 25% wear are nothing compared to old new softs, and everyone's on low fuel now, so that's gonna even heighten the pace difference. It definitely makes more sense to just pit, even if you are on like 3 lap old soft tires. Let's go for fresher softs. Now, Smith, has your podium prediction changed on the last safety car?
It kinda has, yes.
There's a cork in the bottle here. That's Abhi in P4 ahead of Shadow. So Shadow will have to clear Abhi super fast. And one thing one weakness you could say in Shadow's armor is that sometimes he just goes for a move way too quickly and ends up losing out majorly.
That's a late safety car
That's
in
a
this
safety.
lap
That's a
call.
late one in, and Jishnu definitely got caught out there considering the gap he was making. He didn't expect it
Yeah.
to come in this lap. But wherever you are in Pradeep, guys, he's gonna do the same tactic. He's way too close to the safety car to pull that off. Oh, and Caesar has gotten a better launch than him. Abhi got completely caught out, so that's an immediate overtake for Shadow. Right
Oh,
there.
easy overtake for Shadow there. Yep.
Now. Oh, Yana Pradeep spun. No.
Oh, Pradeep, my man.
Oh, he was having such a good race, and he's not
Yeah.
even going to get points now, unless something drastic were to happen at this point. But Jishnu leads now. 0.3 of a second. It is battery. You still can't burn the battery on this track, though. Yeah, in all fairness, right now, because the battery does go down very fast. So I think Caesars is gonna. We're not gonna see much movement in position until between the soft tire runners, at least until the DRS gets enabled. But
Oh,
easy
do we
levels
never
on
know?
mediums. So did he pit on these mediums in that last safety car, or did he not pit
Yep.
on the last safety car? So why would you go on
He
mediums?
did pit. Him and Jishnu went like in together.
Yeah, but why is he on mediums?
He's not on medium. Caesar is on softs.
No, I'm not talking about easy level. Why is easy level on mediums?
Easy level. Easy
Oh,
level.
it's
did not
Ramen.
pit.
Oh, that was an.
Oh, that was very close.
Oh, I know words. I prefer really not to speak.
If I speak.
Look at
Shadow with
Shadow,
the
by the
fastest.
way. And